You ever think about how little it takes to be genuinely creeped out? I mean, forget those long, drawn out ghost stories. Sometimes the scariest stuff, the stuff that really sticks with you, is just one single sentence. It's like a whole nightmare packed into a few words. It sets up a world, flips it completely upside down, and just leaves you there. So today, we're going to tear one of the very best ones apart and see what makes it tick.
And this whole thing, it all comes down to a single, terrifying phone call. It's a perfect example of how to build tension, and it's a great reminder that, sometimes the worst connections we make are the ones we actually decide to answer.
All right, so let's get into it. Our story kicks off with something totally, completely ordinary, a phone ringing. But that's the whole trick, isn't it? The most normal things can be hiding something absolutely terrifying.
And right away, here's our first big red flag. The time, 2:45 a.m. I mean, come on, that's the dead of night. A phone call at that hour, it's never, ever good news, right? So the story immediately has us on edge from the very first detail.
So who's this happening to? We meet our main character, Rhea. And who's calling? Her mom. Okay, a mom is supposed to be a source of comfort, of safety. This just sets a normal baseline for us. Nothing to worry about here. It's just family. Or so you'd think.
But this is exactly where things start to turn. That feeling of comfort and familiarity, it's about to get just a little off. Just listen to those words, sweetheart. Okay, that sounds loving, normal, but then come downstairs quickly. I'm standing outside. Whoa, hold on. Why is her mom outside at nearly 3 in the morning? And why so urgent? The request itself is so simple, but the situation makes it feel deeply, deeply strange. And this is it. This is the moment. Rhea's simple question is where reality just breaks. Her response isn't just confusion. She's stating a fact that makes the phone call impossible. And that's when the real dread starts to sink in.
So now, this is the question, just hanging there in the air, right? For Rhea and for us. If her mother is upstairs, who in the world is on the phone? It takes what was just a weird situation and pumps it full of this pure, unfiltered horror. The voice sounds right, but now the identity is terrifyingly wrong.
Okay, so we've reached the peak now. The story has created this impossible puzzle, and what happens next is just confirmation of all of Rhea's worst fears. So look at this. Rhea is literally trapped between two realities that cannot exist at the same time. In one, mom is safe and sound sleeping upstairs. In the other, mom is outside and on the phone. This is where horror really lives, in that impossible space between what you know is true and what you're experiencing. And then, bam, any idea that this is just a prank call, some kind of mistake, it's just gone. From behind her, the door opens all by itself. This isn't just a voice on the phone anymore. The threat isn't just outside. It's in the room with her, right now. And then the call disconnects. That's it. It's over. Just click. No explanation, no big confrontation. The line goes dead, leaving Rhea and us staring at that open door in total silence and terror. Okay, so that was chilling, right? But why? Why does a story that short work so well? What's going on psychologically that makes it so effective? Let's actually deconstruct this perfect little horror machine. It really comes down to this brilliant 4-step formula. First, you start with something totally normal, a late-night call from mom. Step 2, you introduce a contradiction that just doesn't make sense. But wait, mom's upstairs. That creates the suspense. Third, you throw in something supernatural to make the threat feel real. The door opens. And finally, step 4, you just pull the plug, leaving our own imaginations to do all the heavy lifting. So why is this so genius? Well, for one, it takes something we trust completely, a parent's voice, and makes it scary. It creates this paradox, this puzzle your brain just can't solve. And the threat isn't in one place, it's outside and inside, all at once. But honestly, the real killer move? The ending, or the lack of one. By just stopping, the story forces us to imagine what happens next. And let's be real, what we can cook up in our own heads is always way scarier than what someone could write on a page.
And that really brings us to the final thought, doesn't it? The story ends, but the scene doesn't. We're left there with Rhea, in the dark, with that door still open. The voice is gone,
but the thing that opened the door, it's not. It leaves us with one last question that's just designed to stick with you long after you're done with this. The call disconnected, but did the door ever close?